Hey, lovely ladies, popping in just for a little bit. Of course, it is me, Coach V, the New Love Strategist, here with New Thing Life Coaching. Y'all know that I have built this business around doing what? I help my single and frustrated ladies when it comes to renewing their hearts and then preparing them with the intentional dating skills that are necessary to win at Kingdom Love. I am all about having two people in a relationship where it's evident that they both have been spending time dwelling in God's love. They have developed self love, and that is how they discovered real love with each other. Okay. So let me just say, typically around this time of year, especially like in December, I would be in the middle of a 4 week group coaching known as cutting season. And the reason I do that is because right now, this is like what is considered cuffing season. There's a whole process, there's a whole schedule when it comes to cuffing season. Whereas like November is the preseason, and then December is where you actually get serious with one of those prospects to kind of like get together when it comes down to holding it down with each other for the holidays through the winter months, and you kind of last like somewhere around Valentine's Day and let that be that. Listen, we don't really have time for that, okay? Because while the world is out there like cuffing, we are cutting. Like we are just cutting many things off in order to prepare for the real deal. That is what we are focused on, okay? And one thing that I do know, and I wanted to pop in really for two reasons. I know that the holidays are not always easy for a lot of single women this time of year. I get it. I have spent those years where I have been a little bit more frustrated and stressed out around the holidays, thinking like, okay, man, I was really hoping that this was the year that I was actually going to be, with the man and taking pictures and doing all the little cutesy stuff, no longer single. And I understand. And that is why I wanted to do this. And I wanted to reach out and make sure I said, hey, to those of you who are going through this right now, because loneliness can be very intense, right? But let me tell you first and foremost, I get that it's the holidays, but it's also the end of the year. Before we go into 2022, I would tell you, first of all, you got to hit that Control Alt Delete button. Me being a businesswoman, me having my coaching business, my nonprofit organization, my accounting firm, of course, me having, children, I have a lot going on at any given time. Like you can go to my computer, like even right now, I'm sure if I was to open up Google Chrome, there are so many different tabs that I have open. I have so many different apps, so many different programs, so many things going on this computer, even the one on my phone, my laptop, everything. And sometimes it's like, okay, some things are going a little slow. I don't know what's all open, or I maybe need to close something out, or let me just kind of see what's going on in my background. That's where on your computer you do what? You hit Control Alt Delete. And for some of you right now, you're just all over the place. You got too many tabs open, you got too many programs running, your mind is all over the place, your heart might be experiencing a little bit of anxiety. There might be a little bit sadness and loneliness. Right now, I would recommend that you hit Control Alt Delete. I need you to first of all take control of your emotions, take control of your desires, the people that you are dealing with, take control of yourself during this time, okay? Then hit that Alt button. Make sure that you find alternatives. Make sure you find other options. Make sure you find a solution that will help you with whatever it is that you have been going through that either has you once again getting ready to go into another year being single, being unattached, whatever it is that has you frustrated, whatever it is that has been holding you back, whatever that habit might be, or whatever might be getting in your way. I need you to find a solution. I need you to go an alternate route. And then I also want you to hit that delete button. Maybe there is somebody that needs to be deleted. Maybe there is a habit that needs to be deleted. Maybe there is someone or something that you need to cut ties from. And I would highly recommend you do that. All right. But to get through this holiday season, there are some do's and some don'ts. I would say do celebrate with others, right? Because right now we see a lot of people taking those pictures. We see people going on the trips. We see women, getting proposed to. A lot of you are in a lot of the singles groups and the single Christians group, and you're seeing more and more ladies, posting up their proposals and their engagement rings and things like that. Do celebrate with others, but don't covet their story. Don't covet their relationship. Don't covet their circumstances, because what God has for you is for you. I want you to do feel your emotions, but don't react from them. You're entitled to feel however you feel. Sit in it and figure out why it is that you feel that way, but do not make any moves based off of your emotions. I want you to control your urges and don't reach out to that ex. A lot of people get lonely this time of year, or they sometimes engage and interact with people that they normally would not. Do not let loneliness move you. And I want you to have a plan and don't just wing it. Know what your plans are going to be to get through these next couple of weeks. Know what your goals are as well for the start of 2022. Know the kind of relationship that you want. Know the effort that you're willing to put into it. Know what your vision is like. Know all of these different things, okay? You will get through these holidays. And I know some people, they dread a lot of the questions, like for those who have big families. So a lot of times it goes into, having to field questions on why I'm still single or what happened with the last guy or when am I going to actually get married? Sometimes it gets to be too much. I understand that as well. Family gatherings absolutely can be intense. All right. You can give whatever response you want to. You first of all, you don't have to respond. That's a response in and of itself. Or you can just say, hey, I'm falling in love with God at this time. I'm allowing God to just kind of renew my heart so that way that it can be placed in the hands of a man who will know what to do with it. Or you can just say, hey, like I'm preparing myself for the marriage. I'm doing the work to make sure that I have a great marriage and I'm not just thinking about the wedding. I'm thinking long term. So there are just some things I'm working on. You can just say, hey, maybe next year. You can say, hey, if you're trying to figure out why I'm still single, so am I. Why don't you pray for me as far as that's concerned? Someone's still asking, hey, do you know anyone? Is there a quality man that you know? Is there a man with good character that you think would actually work out for me? Why don't you put me down, sis? Put me down, auntie, since you're so concerned about my love life. Again, you will get through. That's all I need you to do right now during this season is to make it through. And for those of you who are in the SAS tribe, I think sometime last year I did like a training video on making it through the holidays. But find things to do. There are always alternatives, so many different things that will help you, okay? I want to ensure that you do step away from the burns of loneliness, as I call it, all right? Make sure that you don't make a move from a place of loneliness that will have you getting burned later or have you regretting later on any type of decision or connection that you might end up forming at a time when you were lonely, okay? Reflect on those that maybe, did you wrong or, things like that, or just a lot of times, and I tell women to do that because once you can go back to that place again, whether those who either did you wrong or maybe it was like a sad thing or something you thought was going to work out, it didn't quite go the way, that you actually envisioned it going, still think about that. Allow those emotions to come up because too often time we're so busy trying to suppress a lot of those emotions. We don't allow ourselves to truly feel it. And then sometimes even just reflecting on the past, you can get clarity as far as, okay, now I see why I actually dated that guy. Okay, now I can honestly admit how I contribute to the demise of that relationship. Or, okay, I see now what was going on within me that caused me to actually want to be with him. I've done that a lot. And reflecting on a lot of those things, and of course, what I did wrong, that's what got me to coaching. Like, I definitely have a story, but I also think about, okay, what about those that could have been right? Just take this season to enjoy the holidays, but reflect as well. Listen, 2022 is all about the comeback. I want you to be excited right now. I want you to know for sure that next year is your year because it can be. Y'all know how I feel about the number 22. And I think that's why I've been so excited these past couple of months because I know what is coming for so many of you because a lot of you have been doing the work and a lot of you are about to start doing the work. Of course, we got New Heart Academy, we got the N2L community. We have so many great things that are coming up, and I know that next year is going to be that year of abundant relationships for many of God's daughters who have been patiently waiting, those who have been investing, those who are actually doing the work. But you must cut. Okay, you need to cut ties with certain things. You need to leave certain things alone, especially if you want to slowly put an end to yet another holiday season alone. All right, here's what I want to do. Quickly, I want to give you 7 strategies that are going to help you renew your mind and renew your heart so that you can win at Kingdom Love because I want 2022 to be your year. I want you to just I'm going to keep on talking, but grab a notebook, grab a journal, grab a pen, because I'm going to keep talking for just a little bit as you get prepared for these 7 things that I'm about to give you that I know will help you significantly if you implement them, okay? And I don't want to talk too much about self-love right now, but I will say this, when I lacked it, that is when I made certain choices and decisions with men and with sex from that place, okay? And it took me a while. Y'all know the story. I'm not getting into all of that. Once I started my healing process, even then it was like I was still unaware of some of my triggers. So I made a few mistakes, out of being impatient and then disobedience, all of these different things. And it's interesting because I have worked with countless women over the years, individually, group settings, webinars, speaking engagements, the whole nine, things that I'm even about to, these 7 tips that I'm about to give you at the end of this quick little video, quick, right? But 7 things that I'm about to give you, things that I've shared with them. And I had ladies who were getting results. Why? Because they listened. They were teachable and they did the work. A lot of you know Basani on, from Facebook or somehow maybe even off Facebook, obviously. Asani got married last year. And even right now, like her and her husband just welcomed a beautiful baby boy a couple of months ago. And again, seeing where she is right now, Basani is not the same person who reached out to me for help last year. And I love seeing it. I love celebrating. I get testimonies on a regular. I have sat back and I have watched women who, started dating, who were falling in love, getting engaged, getting married, the whole nine. That was crazy because I will admit it was not happening for Coach V. It was not like I was still dating, but things weren't really going the way I was thinking that it was going to go. But it was not happening for me, but mainly because a lot of my bad decisions had me paralyzed, one. And two, I wanted to keep helping women in order to get like my finances where I wanted them because my financial status was the part of me that I had neglected for the longest time. And we already know bad money habits will lead to bad choices and decisions with men. Hello, like I talked about that in the Sin 21, that self-love challenge. So y'all already know. But I still, however, I had God reminding me like, hey, you can have success and love. I don't want you to choose. I'm not telling you to choose. You can have both of them. And I had to remind myself, and not just any old love, but good love, real love, a love that lasts. I'm talking about that kingdom love, right? The kind of love that can only happen when you have been dwelling in God's love, developing self love, and discovering real love. So there are many women who are like, Coach, but I am still not winning. I am not winning at love. I thought by now I would have already been, in a relationship, at least in a healthy, committed relationship, if not already engaged, prayerfully married. And I don't understand what's going on. And I'm realizing it's because they, like me, they had tried it all. They had tried it all. They were adapting to the new age dating rules. They were reading the books. They were signing up for classes and they were going to therapy. But nothing was bringing forth that good man. Nothing was bringing forth the man that, of course, was going to bring that real love. And why is that? I realized over time that what it all boils down to is because none of those things actually get to the root. None of those things were the bridge between the heart, the mind, science, their faith in God. Individually, all of those things are amazing. When it's like, hey, I'm going to therapy, hey, I'm going to church, hey, I'm praying, hey, I'm healing, hey, I took a class, I'm enrolled in this, I'm reading this book. None of those things individually a lot of times help, but they must all tie in together. Because as I've said before, the heart is mind, emotions, and will. The heart is spirit, science, and humanity. And it is the latter, humanity, that oftentimes trips women up. That is what a lot of times gets in the way, is that they're the humanity of them, their spirit. They don't realize that there are some things that have not yet been corrected and adjusted, and it interferes. And I don't want that to be your story. I don't want that to be your story at all. I want you to finally say, hey, I'm going to do what needs to be done so that I can win. Let me give you these 7 things that will help you win at love in 2022. And yes, again, things that women have paid for, I'm about to give you free game. So I hope by now you already have your pen and you are ready to write. I'm about to give it to you, okay? Number 1, here's what you need to do. You literally need to uproot, unplant, take out your TWA seeds. Y'all already know when I say TWA seeds, I'm talking about thoughts, words, and actions. Your thoughts, words, and actions, those are all seeds. This ties into cleansing your heart. and being mindful of what it is you are planting. It's all about seeds and soil. Deuteronomy 22:9 talks about how you can't plant, two separate things in the same garden and expect that you're actually, not going to have some type of contamination. So, like New Heart Academy, that's my transformation program, and it's all about the heart. It is tilling the soil of your heart. It's helping you to dig and excavate. What are some of the things that you think when it comes to dating, when it comes to men today, when it comes to your love life? What are the words that you are speaking in these groups? What are the words that you are speaking in therapy? What are the words you're speaking with your friends and family when it comes? What are maybe some of the things that you are speaking to the men who are in your life, or to the man who is in your life, and you're wanting that commitment, or you're wanting whatever to happen, but you're not even thinking about how it is that you're talking to them? What are your actions saying? What are the things that you are doing? Are you being intentional? Or have you at least tried dating? Are you giving dating a chance? Have you tried online dating? Are you, dating by faith? Are you dating people knowing that they are not even suitable and complementary to you, your purpose, your life, your will, all of these different things? What are your actions doing? All of these things come from the heart. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. That is what Proverbs 4:23 tells us, right? We can't change our hearts on our own. We simply cannot. Only God can make that kind of change, which he promises to do if we give up control and trust him to do the work in our lives. But some of us are so busy telling God what we want. I hear it all the time. Even sometimes in consultations, when people hop in my inbox, like so many different things. I have women who are telling me, well, this is what I prayed, and this is specifically what I told God, and I told God this. Who are we to do that? But yet we're not even asking him to cleanse and create in us a new heart. Remember, Jeremiah 17:10 says that he will reward us based on what our hearts deserve. So it's something for you to think about when it comes to your TWA seeds. What things have caused your heart to be rocky or shallow or filled with weeds and thorns? What needs to change about the soil of your heart? What seeds are you planting when it comes to your thoughts, your words, and your actions? What are you planting? What are your seeds showing about your character? How do you dress? How do you respond to men? How do you feel about men? How is your relationship with God? How do you respond to men and maybe some of the singles groups? Do you think that marriage is going to happen for you? Do you even believe in real love? Do you think that good men still exist? Those are all seeds. Are you planting good seeds? And once the seeds are planted, do you even sit still long enough to allow the roots to grow? Number two, the next strategy I would tell you, you have to understand love. Many women want love. I come across that all the time in coaching. A lot of women want love, but they don't know what it is. They don't know how to do it properly. At the end of the day, they don't do it properly. I'm the new love strategist. I am here to help. All right. Remember, in love and love are two completely different things. Love versus lust, two different things. And I always go back to 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, where it talks about, love is patient, love is kind, and, it's gentle, it keeps no record of wrong. It rejoices when the truth wins out. It's not boastful, it's not proud, all of these things. That is love in its purest form. And it's why I literally even tell all of my clients, love a man from day one. Love a man from day one. I didn't say commit. I didn't say be loyal. I didn't say give him your heart. I didn't say do the most. I didn't say audition. I just said love. We are instructed to do this as Christians. But a lot of times we're so impatient and we're frustrated in singleness, and that is why it is not working out for many. Again, this was definitely me. I did not know how to love, and I was running men away because I was telling them how I was going to love them right. But then it's like once they would even connect with me, it was kind of like, okay, but you're not patient. You're reminding me every single time I do something wrong. You're not gentle. You're not like all of these things. So you have to literally understand love and implement that now with people in your life now. Because even Luke 6:38, it talks about, of course, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, like give and it will be given unto you. A lot of you want love, but you're not giving love in all of your relationships. But yes, even now when it comes to dating, if you are on a dating app, with how you respond to men, with how you communicate, with the things that you're doing, all right? Love, you have to understand it. Love is an intellectual decision. Love is a commitment. Love is intentionally choosing. It is a principle. It is saying, I am going to fulfill the legitimate needs of this person. All right. Renewing and cleansing comes into play because of what's in our love box. I always ask women, what's in your love box? What do you know about love? What have you been shown about love from a very young age? I want you to evaluate that and reflect on that, because you might realize, hey, I don't know how to love. Or, something happened to me that I have not yet worked through, and this is why I'm struggling in that area. Number three, I would tell you to seek God on marriage. All right. Dating while Christian, this is a whole nother realm in and of itself. Okay. And it's detrimental a lot of times because we have been like romanticizing marriage, and we make it so deep and so much more spiritual. And this is why I say seek God on marriage. You have to find out, okay, God, reveal to me what you want marriage to look like in my life. I want you to read the Bible and see what is the purpose of marriage. Why do you want marriage? Remembering that marriage is about two people who are holding each other accountable to God. Do you even have a spirit-led vision? That Write the Vision workshop that I did, that was all about finding out what vision has God been showing you, even from who you are, your purpose, your strengths, your weaknesses, your gifts, your talents. A lot of those things are going to go into your relationship. So it's also realizing what God is saying to you about you, because that is going to help you realize, okay, then I should only be dating men like this, or I should not be dating men like this, because now I'm seeing what God is revealing to me. But we have made marriage about like guilt-free sex and, cute little pictures and matching pajamas on Christmas Day, social media pics, all of those things. Those are all bonuses at the end of the day. But you want a marriage that embodies kingdom love, right? And for some, it hasn't happened because you're praying for something that you don't understand. Make no mistakes. God wants you happy. He wants you enjoying life and companionship. But a lot of these things and the reasons that a lot of women want marriage, they are not the reason for marriage. You should be happy prior. There's a weight that comes with marriage. So make sure that you are wanting it for the right reasons and that you seek God on it. For this seems like a given as well, but I need you to be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically you. It's easy to want a man to accept you and want you. That's hard if you don't even know who you are. If you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't regard yourself in a good light, if you don't accept yourself, that means you don't even respect yourself. And that means, guess what? That a man won't either. So I need you to be unapologetically you. I need you to get to the core of who you are. When I tell women about the core three, I'm talking about your core identity, like knowing who you are fully, all aspects of you, your entire makeup. Who are you? And then what are your core values? Like, what are the things that you value? And then your core beliefs. What do you believe in? And not even just your faith, but what do you believe in as far as life, humanity, people? Like, what are a lot of the things that you believe? And these things matter. Why? Because you want a man who accepts and understands you, core identity. You want a man who shares your core values, and you need a man who is going to respect your beliefs. So you need to get very, very clear on who you are in this season. You've got some work to do, girl. The only thing that you need to be is yourself, and realize that that alone makes you worthy. A lot of us, we show up as a representative with dating. A lot of times we falsely show up, when it comes to dating ships and things like that, either because we don't know who we are or we're afraid that a man won't accept us once they get to know the real us. That is already showing that you're not loving right, because that means you're being dishonest. You're also planting a seed of discord. What do you think is going to happen if Galatians 6 talks about, God cannot be mocked? You are going to reap what it is that you sow. This was me a lot of times. I was showing up and I really didn't know who I was, which also means I was becoming what those men wanted me to be. And after a while, I would realize either that I didn't like it, or maybe they realized that I was being, fake about it. And just those dating ships never worked out. Of course, now being in this relationship, it is only because we had a 10-year running friendship that we finally decided, it was like, okay, kingdom love is right here in our face. Like, what are we going to do about it? So, of course, now it's great because I never even thought that he and I, even though I wanted him, I didn't think that we were going to be together, but he's always gotten the real me. So, of course, now it's kind of been like, oh God, like this guy knows like every single thing about you, but it's interesting, but it's like, I can just be myself. But I want you to be unapologetically you. All right. Number 5, understand men. You have to understand men. I just had a conversation with my best friend about this earlier today, and she's married, and she was going on and on about some things that are bothering her. I just feel like, he's not on my side when it comes to, making sure that the children are doing their chores. And, sometimes he's, doing the video games, and he's this and he's that and blah, 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 blah. And she's going on and on. Well, you know what? I don't really have much to say. I just walk in the house. Sometimes I'm quiet. Even when I leave, sometimes I'm quiet. I don't really have much to say. I was like, you're being petty, first of all. I was like, you have to understand men. Men are not thinking about a lot of the things that we are thinking about, first of all. Second of all, this is why it's also important to know your expectations and your roles up front before marriage, and to discuss those things, which the Right Division workshop talks about as well. But understanding men is literally about mindset renewal. This is science, literally, because they are biologically made up differently than we are. And I will say that becoming a dating coach and now looking at a lot of the scientific makeup of the makeups of both sexes, it has been mind blowing. It has literally blown my mind. And the only reason that I know that I can effectively coach and help single women is because I understand both sexes and why we need each other. Like, I understand it, and knowing what a man's most basic need is, and knowing the way that they process a lot of things that would never, like, we would never even think of it that way. They are just completely different creatures. And a lot of you don't understand men, and you speak to men from a place of, what it is that you're expecting in return. You have certain demands, you do certain things based on what it is that you want. And if you're failing to understand them and their needs, then you're not going to even get the results. We have power as a woman. You have to know what your divine power is as a woman of God, and then you got to know how to use that to your advantage at the end of the day. Like, that is one of the classes, even in New Heart Academy. It's like, no, I need you to understand some things first and foremost. Know this: your friends can't help you, because their preferences and their experiences won't get you the love that you want and desire. It's like, as women, we can give advice to each other all day long. But wouldn't it be nice to know what men want? Why men do certain things, what men need? Like, so you literally have to renew your mind when it comes to a lot of the things that you have been taught, things that you've heard, and the things that you believe. And then realize, okay, let me think about it from the male perspective. It's not saying put your own needs to the side, but do keep in mind that love is selfless. Love is not selfish. It ain't all about you, sis. All right. Number 6, unbutton yourself. Unbutton yourself. Again, Proverbs 4:23. So if it says, above all else, guard your heart, everything you do flows from it. What do your actions and your beliefs say about you, first and foremost? And I want you to really think about that. Is it showing that you have unbuttoned? You can guard your heart, yes, but don't lock it up. You can have a guard up, but no walls. Do not allow your fears, your wavering faith, hurt and pain from the past, disappointment, frustration, the wait, the holidays, whatever. Don't let anything lead to you putting walls around your heart to protect you from what it is that you're ultimately desiring and craving. Some of you are so afraid of getting hurt. You're so afraid of love. And it's like you want it so bad, but you're so afraid, and you're running and you are sabotaging. This is again why I also say love a man from day one. Allow yourself to fall in love. Love and be loved. Sometimes we get it wrong, and that's fine, but guess what? It will also build resilience. It will build resilience and help you realize, what, I can bounce back from this, and I will bounce back, like, and everything is going to be okay. But what I will say is a renewed heart and mind will greatly prevent that from happening. I'm not saying go out and make bad decisions. I'm just saying let your guard down a little bit early on. Allow yourself to love. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to show love. Allow yourself to, even fall in love if it happens. You have to just let that guard down and say, you know what, I can't run from the thing that I am desiring, because I know you're thinking, well, what if it doesn't happen? But what if it does? You won't know if you're just so guarded and being so. Loosen up, no overthinking. Boundaries are in place to protect you, okay? Not a heart that looks like Fort Knox because like nobody can get in. That's just how guarded it is. Boundaries will protect you, but you got to let yourself experience love. Remember, to prevent yourself from getting hurt, this is why I always say pace. Pause and control your emotions. Pause and control your expectations. Have boundaries in place at every single stage. Lastly, in order to actually win at love, guess what you got to do? You got to positively position yourself. Remember in the book of Ruth when Naomi was like, hey, I want you to like get freshened up, get yourself all dolled up, and then I want you to go to that man. And it's like she went to him, and then he was like, what are you doing here? And I'm going to give you some grains, and I'm going to send you back on your way. I'll settle this, and we'll talk about it. And then Naomi was like, all right, you already did your part. The rest is up to him. You have to positively put yourself out there. You have to positively position yourself in front of what I call the MVPs, the most valuable potentials, in order to even win. I get asked all the time, well, where do I go to meet men? I can tell you a few ideas. I even have a chart on my website that talks about where to actually meet men and how to meet somebody. But you may not work out the exact details of where you will end up meeting this person, because the key at the end of the day, first and foremost, is I always say, what? You have to become the woman that the man you're praying for is even looking for. You have to become that woman. You have to do the work. You got to do the heart work, the soul work, the mind work. You got to do all of those things. And then you have to have the intentional dating skills. You got to positively position yourself. You have to be prepared. You have to have a good heart, and you have to understand real love so that you won't run from the things that don't fit the superficial list. So when I say positively position yourself, this is physical. Yes, like where is your ideal guy? Like in some of my workshops and everything else, like even in writing the vision, it's like, okay, like where's like your ideal guy? Like think about that kind of man. Like where would he be in his free time? Would he be serving? Like is he someplace doing things at the church? Like, think about all of those different things. Do you want someone active in the church? Then obviously you should be in church often. Like, do you want someone who's occasionally at a dance club or a jazz club? Okay, then that means you should occasionally be at those places. Do you want someone who is serving and volunteering? Guess what? Maybe you should be connecting with a nonprofit organization. Do you want someone who's a homebody? Cool. Then guess what? That means you should be signed up on an online dating site with what I call a bomb profile, right? You have to believe in things happening for you first of all. And if you are believing that things are going to happen when you least expect it, then you have to be intentional all the way around. So when I say positively position, it is physical, yes, but it is also mental. That's mindset. It means planting good seeds while you wait, while you pray, while you work, while you prepare, all of these things. Those are 7 simple strategies that if you take your time to receive and digest, they will work wonders. They have worked for ladies before you. Understand that you literally have the power to create your love story. Okay. Again, you might not have the exact details. You don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but you can know what the love will look like and how he will treat you, how you will treat him, how the two of you are going to honor God, what you won't have to do prior. Your power literally rests in the fruit of your lips. Life and death in the power of your tongue. That's what Proverbs 18:21 says. You can decide that things will be different going forward. You can decide 2022 is going to be your year and it's going to be amazing. You can decide that you will no longer have to beg with God, plead with God, conform to the patterns, asking when is it going to be my turn, being jealous when someone posts, about whatever. You don't have to, even ask, well, where he at though, as soon as someone even makes a post about a good man, because those are all already seeds of doubts. So let me tell you, when you're a good woman, but you're still single and you're not happy about it, know that until you change your heart, it won't happen. The seeds, the beliefs, the envy, the attitude, everything. Your heart is literally the soil where things are planted. What are your thoughts, words, and actions growing? I will tell you now, if you are determined to win, you need to be a part of the We Will Win community in 2022. This is a new community that I am building via New Thing Life Coaching, and it is possible for you to join one of 2 ways or even both ways. Again, New Heart Academy. If you are tired of waiting, thinking that God has overlooked you, if you are, you can't keep up with the rules, the religion, and the regulations of dating and relationships today, I got you. I would love to have you in the winter session. It's a 12-week transformation program for serious women who are saying, I want to renew my heart so that I can get the love that I deserve and desire. Yes, God said that he would give you the desires of your heart. But here's what he also said. He said, and I will give you a new heart and I will put a new spirit in you. I will take out your stony, stubborn heart and give you a tender, responsive heart. That's what he says in Ezekiel 36:26. I couldn't win at Kingdom Love because my heart was not renewed. I couldn't. And I've said before, I was saved, but I was not delivered. I had the answers to help other women, but I could not even help myself. Stubbornness, arrogance, impatience, a lot of things, even just like the scripture said. And God was like, so you're just going to watch everyone live their best life and fall in love and win They're all kind of like living the life that you want as they take the advice that you gave them from me, but you're not even taking. And God was showing me like it's arrogant for you to not follow the wisdom that I am imparting into you. Because I always say, like, New Thing Life Coaching, this is a God thing. He gave me the wisdom to create the acronyms and the strategies and the methods and the systems, the ones that work for my ladies. And God, now I finally said, you know what? I got to take my own advice to keep the love that God has showed and promised me. We begin January 12th when it comes to this new season. It's intense because there are 12 classes, intense classes every week, live. There are a lot of exercises, there are a lot of assignments, but you get a lifetime access to all the material. Visit newthinglifecoaching.com/NHA. Look into it and then come on in. You can register right there on the site. There are 3 different payment options, okay? But let me tell you, if you decide to pay in full, I got you. I got you. I got you. If you decide to pay in full, you also get access to Simplicity. It is still my best-selling class, but it's a 4-week dating master class that is jam-packed with so much information to help you when it comes to dating. You also get access to the Write the Vision workshop that I recently did that is going to help you have a spirit-led vision. It's an hours-long workshop that is going to help you when it really comes to thinking about what it is you offer, what it is you want, where you are with gender roles, expectations, the whole nine. You get to take the relationship readiness assessment, and you will also get a coaching session. And let me tell you, all of those things alone are valued at around $800. But you're going to get all of those for free if you do the one-time payment option. Even if you can't, no sweat. Come on in to the academy, okay? Or you might even want to join the N2L community. You might say, you know what? New Heart Academy, I can't really afford that right now, but I do need the help. N2L, that is going to be a month-to-month membership program. Same thing, each month there's going to be a class that is going to unlock, that is going to help you in so many different areas. It might be on healing, on purpose, on sex, on finances, on submitting, your faith, on womanhood, with children, all of these different things to help you become the amazing woman that the man you're praying for is going to want to marry. And N2LC, again, you get the course, but then you also there's a you get the discount for the annual WallCon conference that I'm going to be doing. You're going to get a discount to the women's retreat that we do in the mountains every year. Of course, you're going to get branded merchandise because I want everyone around you to know that we will win. So you're going to be getting like hoodies and t-shirts and jewelry and everything shipped to your front door every single month as long as you stay enrolled. But again, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want to. All right. Look into those things because hashtag we will win. I love you. I want you to have a happy holiday. I want you to enjoy your holiday. I want you to be really, really, really excited about 2022 because I promise you, things can be significantly different for you, but it's up to you. God bless and take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.